everybody, it's Topwater Johnny here, and in this video, I'll be doing an unboxing of my newest topwater lures that I bought from the Hookup Tackle. Let's check them out. Whoa, there we go. Yeah! Woo, holy cow, folks. Topwater Johnny here, man. This is what we came here for. Look at that. Get back here. Look at that right there. That's the kind of beast that we came here for. There we go. Woo! And that one hooked. Hey everybody, it's Topwater Johnny here. I want to welcome you to the video here. And in this video, we're going to be doing an unboxing and review of my newest topwater lures that I bought from the Hookup Tackle. And I'm really excited about these lures and what they can represent in my tackle box and arsenal. So what I'm going to do is talk about them a little bit, show them to you, give you some ideas about them, and if it makes sense, then I'm sure you can go out and check them out and purchase them yourself. But I just want to share with you guys my actual lures that I got here. And the first one that I want to bring up is actually, check it out right here. It is called the ISM Pull 70F right here. And this is actually a topwater lure, as you can see right here. It's a rather light lure, got feathers in the back of it right here. Singular hook here. The purpose behind this lure really is to operate like a minnow darting across the top of the water. This kind of lure right here, you would be using on spinning tackle because it's really light. And I put it on spinning tackle. I've also put it on some mono as well, like 12-pound mono. That's about as light as I go with mono. It's about 12 pounds. It's actually 2.75 inches long. It weighs 1/6 ounce, so it's like really light. It's only got one singular hook, and it's in. You should be fishing this in open water or whenever you see small fish schooling up and big bass or your type of game fish chasing them down. So this is the reason I got this one, because there's always bass chasing small little fry like this right here. So I wanted to get one that had the right kind of backing on it. In other words, this one really looks like any type of little minnow that would be in a pond or in a lake. And as you can see where it actually hooks at the top here, it actually hooks in the very top of it. So it has more of an undulating movement when it's in the water. So that's what the lure is here. So that was my first one that I actually got right here. All right. My second one that I've got here is check this out, is the OSP PICRO 68F. Now this is actually a floating lure, still has the minnow design to it right here. So you guys can see the minnow design, but notice the front of it here. The actual bill itself is on top. This is a Japanese lure. The purpose behind this was so that this and the line tie did not tangle up the hook here. It has more, once again, it has more of a side-to-side movement right here, but it's really supposed to mimic that little minnow fish, that little game fish that's in the water that the bass are chasing. This one right here, I would actually fish on braid because of where the line tie is, and because I've got double trebles in the back here. I'm going to end up using probably braid on this one right here and fish it. It'll probably be light braid, like 8 to 10 pound braid on this one right here. And because of the unique design of it and how it moves, you know, it has a possibility of definitely catching some fish. It's actually, here's some measurements for you. It is 2 2/3 in length right here. It also weighs 1/6 ounce as well. The price on this one, as well as the previous one, is $19.99. So those are the prices on this actual lure right here. But I really like it. You know, it's good for when the bass are chasing minnows on top, and it really does mimic and look just like a minnow. And you will be reeling this one in. Once again, you can flick it with your rod. You can use your reel, kind of bring it in different motions, movements, and it'll create different actions on the water. So I'm really impressed with this one right here. All right. And our next lure that I got is check that out, the MegaBass Vatalion right here. Now that's a big lure right there. This actual lure right here is a floating lure right here. So they've got a sinking version of the MegaBass Vatalion and a floating. So I got the actual floating version right here. As you can see, it is jointed in the back. This one makes a lot of noise here as well. Also, something to keep in mind is that this is a floating lure, but it is a glide bait. So it's not a wake bait, it's a glide bait. And it's something that I've been playing around with, trying to figure out and get a little bit more comfortable with glide baits that are more surface related so that I can see the strike, I can see that big hit. So this actually is a glide bait right here. Also, other thing about it to keep in mind is that I'm fishing this on 30-pound braid with a like a 2 to maybe 3-inch leader, and that leader is like fluorocarbon because this is actually going to be underwater, and the fluorocarbon is so small it won't make it sink too deep. But I got a little bit of fluorocarbon tied to the braid so that it looks a little bit more seamless, and the fish don't really see the connection there. So I'm fishing it that way. So I've got that on there. I'm using a medium heavy rod and a bait caster to actually reel this one in here. Also, a couple of things on the basic logistics of it. It's 1 3/8 ounce, so it's actually a very big lure. Also, it's 4.6 inches long, so it's got some length to it as well. The actual price is $29.99 on this one right here. And when you're using one of these type of lures right here, it's not about the rod, it's about your reel. That's why a bait caster is important for this one, because it will jerk right to left based on how you're cranking the reel. So it's the cranking of the reel that gives this lure action, and it's really not in the rod like my 2 other previous lures where you can use your rod to create a lot of action. With this one, it's all about the reel and the way that you're reeling it. That's what's creating action, whether you're really fast, really slow. Those are the things that are really controlling it. So this is definitely a lure that I'm looking forward to fishing with. And I'm going to be fishing it really based on certain times of the year, like when the spawn is going on, when the bass are on the nest and they're chasing away bluegill, but then also here potentially in the fall when they're trying to feed up and get bigger for the winter, they're going to be chasing bigger baits as well. So in some spots I can throw this and be able to have some success with it as well. So we'll see what happens. All right, and my next lure here in my unboxing is the Grayz Jolt, and this is a wake bait. So it only goes about 1 foot to 2 feet underwater right here. As you can see right here, all the action is really in the tail back here. So it's got a lot of tail action here. Has some rattles to it as well here. But this is a new one that many of you guys may not have seen before. And it's a wake bait. And it creates a lot of vibration, a lot of movement on there, a lot of flash on there. And so when those bass are chasing shad, this is another lure that I really wanted to try out. I'm doing the same concept here. 30-pound braid going to a fluorocarbon leader, and the leader's about 1 to 2 inches long, tied on, and just running this and really allowing the reel to do all the action, just like my other lures, letting the reel do all the action here. And this one will go right or left, it'll push forward. It actually is 4.5 inches long, just so you guys know. It weighs 7/8 ounces. The actual price on this one is $39.99, and it's just another wake bait that I'm trying out, and I'm just trying to see what kind of action I can get from it and results I can get from it. You know, fishing top water, you never know what they're going to hit, and sometimes they're chasing bigger minnows, bigger bait fish. So I wanted to try some things that were a little bit bigger to see what opportunities and what luck I would get out of them as well. So I just wanted to show this one to you. For many people, you've probably never seen this one before, but this definitely is one of the newest ones from the hookup tackle, and I wanted to show this one to you as well. So we'll see what happens with that one. Okay, and my 5th lure here in my little review that I want to show you guys. And a while back, someone asked me, what is the craziest lure that I've ever fished with? Well, I'm about to show it to you. Check this out, everybody. This is probably going to be the craziest lure I ever fished with. It is the MegaBass Gong Jr. right here. And it's a wake bait. And actually, as you can see here, it's got the face of a gorilla in the front of it right there. You can see it, the face of a gorilla. Big, big actual willow blade, Colorado blade in the back here. Makes a lot of noise, makes a lot of rattling, and it's actually a wake bait. It is actually 2.5 in actual length. It actually weighs 5 1/8 ounces, and the price on it's $19.95. And the reason I got this one, because I just thought it looked very unusual, but kind of cool at the same time. I thought I would try something out like this just to see what happens. I'm not sure if I'm going to catch anything with it at first, but I can tell from that tail action right there that if a bass saw that from the behind area right there, they might strike at that. It might aggravate them enough and create a great reaction bait. And if it doesn't catch any fish, that's okay too. I'll just add it to my lure collection and it'll just sit there in retirement. But I'm going to fish this for sure and see if I can make something happen with it. But a while back, a subscriber asked me what was the craziest lure. I think by far the MegaBass Gong Jr. will be the craziest lure that I have ever fished with. So I just wanted to show this one to you. And definitely, I got this one at the hookup tackle as well. All right. Now, as you already know, sometimes it's hard for me to figure out when to stop as far as like my top fives and what I really like. But I saw this lure a while back, so I bought another lure, but I got this one from Tackle Warehouse. And check this one out right here. Now, this right here is another wake bait. As you can see, wake bait right here. And it's called the Lucky Strike Cajun Wake Bait right here. This one actually is 3.12 in actual length, weighs about 3 1/4 ounces here. Supposed to mimic a shad in the water column. Kind of got the colored flared gills out here, big eyes out here. It's supposed to create that disturbance. Got really big hooks here. As you can see, I'd already tried to fish it, so I put a treble hook on the back just to add a little bit more action in the back here. This lure actually was designed by Cliff Corcoran, and he's what they called a shallow water expert. So he was really good at understanding shallow water and bass and shad. So he developed it. As you can see, it kind of has a hump shape to it here. So it definitely creates a lot of noise, a lot of disturbance on the water here. This actual lure at Tackle Warehouse is actually selling for $6.99. So this is actually the cheapest of all the lures that I currently have bought from there most recently. And it just looked cool and different and interesting. So I thought that I would get this one right here and give it a shot. As a wake bait goes, it goes down about 1 foot in length, but it actually floats back up as well. So it does float, but it goes down about 1 inch. And the harder you grind it down, the louder it makes, the louder noises it makes as well. So I just wanted to show you this one as well right here. All right. All right, and here they are. The first one up is the ISM Pull 70F Minnow Style right here. The next one is the OSP PICRO 68F. The MegaBass Vatalion Floating Lure. The Grayz Jolt Wake Bait. The MegaBass Gong Jr. And finally, the Lucky Strike Cajun Wake Bait. And those are my newest lures that I'll be taking out and fishing and seeing what I can make happen with them. All right. Okay, everybody. Well, there you go. There was my review. And you got a chance to take a little closer look there at the end here of all the lures that I purchased over the last, I would say about the last month here or so. Want to talk to you also about what I'm coming out with on Monday of next week. And I'll be fishing and be doing a review of this lure right here, everybody. It's one of the newest ones to be out in the marketplace. It's the Ripple Cicada by Chase Bait. And this lure right here has really just been sweeping the marketplace. You see a lot of it on Instagram, people talking about it. Well, I actually took it out, went fishing with it, put in some work with it right here. And so on Monday, you'll actually see a video of me catching bass on it as well. One unique thing about this lure right here is some of these lures in certain colors actually glow in the dark, which is kind of cool as well. I didn't know they did that, but that's something really cool to know. So I just want you guys to know that next week, next Monday, it will be the Chase Baits Ripple Cicada, and that's the one that I will be fishing with, and that's the one I'll be talking about next week. Also, let's be sure that you are registered. In other words, register for the giveaways. And I want to make sure we talk about that just for a moment here. I've been kind of waiting and waiting to see where I could be with those giveaways. And I've got some really cool lures that I want to give away and offer to people. But you've got to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, hit the bell notification, and also on the text notification. And right here, as you'll see right here, 31996 and the word Topwater. That puts you on the text notification, and then you will be officially registered for the giveaways. And I'm really going to start that giveaway next week. So next week, I'm going to start showing the lures that I'm going to be giving away to some lucky subscribers, and I want to make sure that you are one of those winners. But the only way to be a winner is to be subscribed to the channel, hit the bell notification, be a part of the text notification, 31996 and the word Topwater, and then you'll be qualified to be in the contest for the free lure giveaway. Once again, I just want to thank everybody for being a subscriber to the channel. I hope you guys are getting a lot out of these lure reviews, these top fives, because I think it's very important that everybody, just get a little bit of education about the lures that they're fishing with, because as you can tell, some of these lures are expensive, and it's important that you really understand where that lure fits in your tackle box and how you plan to fish it. Once you understand where I'm going to fish it, how I'm going to fish it, then you can start to make up your mind whether or not it's worth the actual expense. See, I know exactly where I'm going to fish those lures and the situation, so it's a lot easier for me to make that buying decision based on where I fish at. But I just wanted to share that little thought with everybody here. I want to thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. If you got any questions or comments, please leave those below. Please leave a comment about the lures. If there's any lure that you really liked or you thought was cool or different or whatever, leave those comments below. I respond. I answer everybody's questions. I respond to everybody. So once again, I just want to thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. And I want you to always remember that phrase. Keep your line tight. Because when they hit those Topwater lures, and any number of those lures that I mentioned today, it's going to be a big bite. All right.